Reuters, the fighting in eastern Ukraine has claimed more than 10,000 lives and damaged important civilian infrastructure. Russia, which started this conflict and perpetuates it through active leadership of military units on the ground that attack Ukrainian positions daily, must commit to bring it to an end, reads the statement published on the State Department website. Read else Ukrainian troops shoot down Russian drone in Autozone. The United States is ready, in coordination with France, Germany, and Ukraine, to engage with Russia in support of the Minsk agreements to achieve an end to the conflict, including through a peacekeeping force with a broad mandate for safety and security across the entire conflict zone, control of the international border, and responsibility for ensuring the cantonment of heavy weapons. Heather Nauert said. As UNIAN reported earlier, the U.S. State Department also called on an all-for-all detainee exchange in Donbas. If you see a spelling error on our site, selected and press Ctrl Enter News Politics 1959. Volker says when U.S. may roll back part of anti-Russia sanctions. 1640 Ukraine launches second stage of judicial reform. Poroshenko 1620 experts confirmed voices on Saakashvili. Kurchenko tapes authentic. 1500 SBU detains informant of Russia-backed militants. 1120 NATO chief predicts increased dialogue with Russia in 2018. Media 10 o'clock U.S. urges Russia to bring to an end conflict in Donbas. 9 o'clock U.S. calls for all-for-all detainee swap in Donbas. 1847 Stratfor, Russia may make some headway on UN peacekeepers in Donbas. 1746 Kiev's court rules to seize fugitive oligarch Kurchenko's UMH assets. 1500 military expert says Putin not to withdraw from Crimea anytime soon. 1420 Kremlin explains why Ukrainians held in Russia not considered POWs. 1340 Poroshenko's envoy announces new talks on next prisoner exchange. 1120 Tillerson, U.S. has no illusions about today's regime in Russia. 9 o'clock Macron says efforts must be made to release all prisoners in Donbas. 1756 prisoner swap in Donbas over. 74 Ukrainians going home. 1440 sociologist names 3 scenarios for Ukraine in 2018. 1140 Ukraine to file more suits against Russia in The Hague. MFA 940 Nabu, PGO chief reconciles Lutsenko admits public row mistake. 1640 Putin soon to choose among 2 options for Donbas. Expert 1610 Biden spoke about last call to Yanukovych before his escape. 1540 Russian security agents detain woman in some Farapol raid. 1520 Lithuanian foreign minister outraged by Russia's statement on Ukraine. 1320 Russia talks about plans for Donbas in 2018. 1140 Kremlin, U.S., Canada's lethal aid to Ukraine opening Pandora's box. 10 o'clock Brexit deal could serve as model for Ukraine, Turkey, Germany. FM 9 o'clock Putin has reasons not to start large-scale war. Political scientist 2200 Ukraine, Iran agree on agro-cooperation. Media 1400 Moscow says no decisions taken on open arms supplies to Donbas. 1637 Saakashvili spotted at Borispol Airport on December 23. Media 1935 Russia, U.S. weapons will only fuel fighting in Ukraine. AP 1641 U.S. says it will provide Ukraine with defensive aid. Reuters 1357 Trump may approve plan to sell anti-tank missiles to Ukraine. Media 1305 Poroshenko submits bill on anti-corruption court to Rada. 2110 Dutch to accept Saakashvili if he arrives. Minister 2030 Ukrainian, German foreign ministers to visit Donbas in early 2018. 1611 Kiev to launch system to monitor Russians' travel across Ukraine. 1255 Canada's Foreign Secretary, Ukraine on AFCCL is only the first step. 1120 Klimkin assures EU visa-free travel for Ukraine not under threat. 1008 DW, Putin and Merkel talk Ukraine. 1910 Finance Minister Daniliuk demands Prosecutor General's resignation. 1750 EU prolongs economic sanctions against Russia. 1607 poll, most Ukrainians deem fight against corruption unsuccessful.